Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of this NHL 26 franchise mode with the Vancouver Canucks. Uh, if everyone watched the last episode, you know exactly what happened. And I'm still quite upset. It's been about a week since it happened, and almost a week since a week since I uploaded that last video, and I still feel as bad as I did then. We were up 3-zip on the Edmonton Oilers. We were perfect through the first 7 games of our playoff journey. We proceeded to lose the last 4 games. And especially in Game 7 in overtime. Which, how many overtimes did it go? I forget how many. 4? I almost spent an hour watching those overtime periods because of how long the periods were. Anyways, so here we are in the offseason of season number 2. I'll go over the player stats in just a moment, just so everyone can see, because I took it out of the last video. But we'll go over that quickly, and then we're just going to kind of get right into the offseason. Of course, we have the draft coming up. We might get into some free agency if I have the time. But nonetheless, we are just going to go on into this head on. But first, we will check out how our players did in the playoffs. So for the playoffs, Vince Dunn was our leading point getter with 12 points. He only had 1 goal, 11 assists. Drake Batherson, the guy who we picked up at the trade deadline or just before the trade deadline, was a point per game. He actually was very solid for us in the playoffs. Jake DeBrusk and Philip Hito were very good as well. Kyle Palmieri, who might not even play with us next year because he's 36 years old. Yeah, he might not even play with us next year because he's 36 years old, had 6 goals. He was a really, really crucial piece for us in the postseason. Pedersen and Besser, I remember being upset with them about how they played in the first round. They actually played very well in round number 2, so I can't really be mad about them. But overall, like, a lot of these guys performed really well. I mean, Ogren, Foligno, Leckermack, they're 4th line. I can't be upset with how they overall played. But again, our team played so well, and I still cannot believe, though, that we did not win in round 2 when we had 4 chances to win 1 game. Thatcher Demko, I mean, played lights out. His goals against went up in that series against the Oilers, especially those last 4 games. But again, he was solid in net. I'm still very, very frustrated with how that series ended. I'm just going to quickly look at the Oilers. And one thing, I don't even know if I mentioned it in the video, we actually held Draisaitl and McDavid to, like, nothing. Like, seriously, besides when they started winning. Like, we held them to nothing. Like, McDavid, I think, only had a couple of points. Like, I'm serious. Like, in 7 games, I think he only had 2 or 3 points. Like, we did very well against McDavid and Draisaitl once again. But we let ourselves down. So, that's basically that, ladies and gentlemen. And now, as we advance the day, let's have a conversation with Mr. Adam Foote here. What does he have to say? We failed to execute. Now our season is over, and I only have one option. It says, I almost said thanks for the loss. The loss is so tough to swallow, but it was still an okay year. Thanks, coach. Thanks for trusting me. We'll chat later. Yes, later. That's a weird conversation to have with your coach, just saying later, but whatever. So we'll advance the day. The conference final. We'll go find that here. The conference final is Edmonton versus Chicago and Philly versus Tampa. Philly took down Carolina. Tampa Bay took down Florida in a 7-game series. And, of course, Chicago beat Utah in the second round. And I don't know if I said it last episode. I feel like I did. But, man, if we got to where the Oilers are, we probably would have a really good chance at making the final. But now, a big factor of all this is how we want to do this offseason. With all our players, we have to do our conversations with our players, the offseason focus. So we're just going to really just dial through all these players. I'm not going to, show this to you guys because it takes a very, very long time. So I'm just going to do this, and we're going to, just get this out of the way, and I'll come back. We'll have all that done. And then basically we just kind of just sim through what we have. So I'll be back. I'm going to do all the offseason focuses. Okay, so I'm back. I spoke to all the players, gave all their focuses. I tried to think as hard as possible for what players should be doing in the off season. There's also a couple of players, obviously, I know that aren't coming back to our team next season, so I'm not, too worried about their focus, to be honest. Um, but yeah, that's basically it. The next thing on our list now is to just kind of sim to June 1st. That's when we'll be able to look at all the remaining players that we could possibly look at, because we basically fully scouted all the other players that are currently in the draft class. So I'll sim to that point, and we will kind of just rack up, the draft class, and we'll go forward from there. And so we are here on June 1st. As you see on the right there, the Stanley Cup Final. It's the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers are one win away from a Stanley Cup. That is incredible. So the Oilers lost to the Blackhawks and the Lightning lost to the Flyers. We'll check on that in just a moment. But first things first, we're going to take a look at the draft class and see what we now have. Basically, we've scouted all the top players that we know. Now, the funny thing is we don't have a lot of draft picks this draft class, so it's quite funny that I've scouted all these top players, even though we're going to be nowhere close to them. Because as you will find here, as I go all the way down, our first pick is not until like here. And judging by who's available, that's not very good. What now we just kind of do is we'll go through the rest of the players and just see how they are and whatnot, and this will basically lead into the draft, where we'll know as most as we can for those players basically that we don't know enough of right now. So I'll head into that. I'll take a look at who's left and who's around that we could just maybe get a little bit of a scouting on, and we'll just go from there. Okay, boys and girls, so I went in and I picked all those players. You might have seen there, what I did was I just did a lot of skills assessments, because what I'll show you in just a second is why I kind of wanted to scout their skills assessment more than I do their potential and comparison, because potential and comparison can give you an idea of what the player is, but the skills assessment is important because it can kind of give you an idea of how good those players' skills are. Look at here, Per Sjöström. Plays in Sweden. Also, Ty Palus. You'll see him just down there. I have marked them as, I've pinned them because they're fringe starters. But when I go into their stats are not that great. Well, Sjöström's stats are not that great. But when I go into his stats, he's B-, B-, B-. That's not overall bad. But Ty Palus is, I think, the guy. Hello, game. Please. Thank you. Ty Palus is kind of one. Now, he did not play this year. He did not play, so I don't know what's going on there. But look at that. B, A-, B. So that will be important. So there might be some good options here where we pick whatever pick we have. But there's a guy here that, as a goalie, yes, he's a fringe starter, but he's a B- and an A- and a B, or a B, A- and B. So we could have good chances there. But nonetheless, I just wanted to show you that because I feel like even though, and then look, the next goalie is a C-. Like, so I know that, I'm just saying these are good options. But we'll look at them and we'll see who's available, when we get to drafting anyway. So we'll see. We only have a couple of picks this draft, so we're going to have to make do of what we have and go on from there. But with that, basically, we just kind of sim until the end of the year, and we'll show you how the playoffs end up and the awards as well. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is how the playoffs went. And yes, you guys, you will not believe, Chicago came back from 3-0 down, forced a game 7, but Philly won it in the end. And even looking at the third rounds that we didn't also look at, Chicago beat Edmonton in 5. Philly beat Tampa Bay in 5. So that's how that played out. But what a year. It was a rematch of the 2010 Stanley Cup Final, if I'm not mistaken. But this time, Philly gets the upper hand, so they get the victory. Just quickly looking over at the AHL side, our AHL team did not make the playoffs, but Rochester won the championship. So, yeah, that's how this year played out. We'll get over to the awards just for a little second. So, of course, after watching last year's debacle of the Leafs winning the Stanley Cup, the Philadelphia Flyers get the taste of glory. They win the Stanley Cup. Oh, hang on, I'm going too fast. They actually also won the President's Trophy. So the best team did end up winning the league. Taking a look at the Clarence Campbell. Of course, Edmonton made it 3 years in a row. Chicago takes the 2027 Clarence Campbell Bowl. Prince of Wales goes to the Philadelphia Flyers. I mean, that's thank you, Captain Obvious. Looking at the individual awards, the Art Ross, Connor McDavid won it for the second year in a row, leading the league in scoring. The Hart actually went to Alexander Barkov, however. So the best player in points actually did not get the best. He wasn't the most valuable to his team. The Norris went to Evan Bouchard. The Lady Byng goes to Evan Bouchard. The Calder does go to TJ Ginla for Utah. That's not surprising. Utah has a pretty good team. Conn Smythe goes to Matvey Michkov for having a great playoff. Maybe we could just scan her over to the playoff stats for just a moment after this. The Vezina goes to Darcy Kemper. He was great, but not great in our series, which is kind of funny considering he won the Vezina. Samuel Montembeault won the William M. Jennings Trophy. Oh, Lord. Well, he split with Philly, though. So that makes sense. So he was a solid goalie with Philly. That's pretty interesting there. Parenko wins the Bill Masterton. I love how the Anaheim Ducks won it the year prior. I can't believe that. I've never... Man. Jack Adams goes to Huska with the Flames. Selke goes to Suzuki. He is a great defensive player. I cannot deny that. Ted Lindsay. So Barkov was just the best overall player this year. Maurice Richard goes to McKinnon for scoring the most goals. So there are the awards for this year, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go quickly look at the playoff stats before we move on here. So if it was not Matvey Michkov that won the Conn Smythe, it probably was going to go to Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard had 31 points in 23 games. But Michkov had 28 points. Trevor Zegras was not far behind, so I'm sure he probably would have won it if Michkov was also not there. But this is dominated by, of course, the Flyers and the Blackhawks. But man, both teams just had a lot of point getters, which is very interesting. But yeah, goaltender-wise, of course, Montembeault actually only had one shutout. Their stats are actually not, well, I mean, Montembeault's goals against average is actually not impressive considering how the playoffs overall went, but he has a bigger amount of games compared to, everyone else basically. So, yeah, that's why their stats are kind of skewed like that. But man, oh man, Thatcher Demko, I feel bad, brother. I feel bad. Okay, so now with that all out of the way, what's going to happen is I'm just going to sim to the draft basically. We have no more scouting to do. We have no more... I have no other idea. I don't know what else to do, really. So we're just going to move on here. I think what's next is to do the draft interviews and see who also retired or gets fired or whatever. So we'll move on there and we'll see that. And for those who want to see the draft lottery results, here you go. So San Jose holds on to the number 1 spot. Detroit goes from number 10 to number 2. I also want to mention the President's Trophy winning Philadelphia Flyers made a trade with the Toronto Maple Leafs, I guess, and the Leafs don't have their first overall pick, or first round pick, so it goes to the Flyers. So the Flyers have the 6th overall pick, and they just won the cup. Like, what the hell, man? Oh, my Lord. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to do our draft interviews. For those who don't know, we get to pick 3 players, interview them, and see how it all goes. I have no idea what picks we even have. What picks do we even have? Well, this is just kind of we have a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick, a 5th round pick, and a 7th round pick. So I'm just going to kind of pick players that are in our area. Obviously, the game tells us, our general, there are projected players we should pick. I will interview players that are around the other players that we don't know about, like this guy, Nico Koivu. Is he related to Saku? So I'll take a look at this guy. We scouted him a little bit. We didn't get all of them, so I'll do what I missed. So he's definitely one guy that we could look at. And there's just some others, too. I'll look at the other picks as well. So I'll do this. We'll get through this. And when we come back, we'll move on from our draft interview portion. All right, boys and girls, we interviewed our players. We got the info that we wanted. I mean, honestly, as I was scrolling through that draft class, this draft class low-key sucks. It's going to be really tough to find a diamond in the rough anywhere. There's a lot of duds in here. I've shown it, I think, a couple times in the last 2 episodes where we've gone through the season. There's a lot of busts. There's only one gem in this entire draft, and he's in the 2nd round. Besides obviously the top overalls or the top players, in the draft, there's not many good ones. I think the back half of this draft sucks. So let's get on into it. We'll take a look at who gets drafted in the top 10. We obviously know, looking at the draft class, we know that Landon Dupont will be drafted first overall, or should be, considering he's a franchise player. But overall, Vaclav Kames should be up there too. He has an X factor. That's an excellent thing to have, especially as a youngster. But looking at some of these other guys, I don't really know. Judging by what our scouts say, hey, well, who's this guy? Alexei Joseph. He'd be actually a good pickup. I'm surprised our scouting has him lower. Oh, than Jackson Jacobson. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so, I mean, there's a couple of good guys late. Like, think about this. The Flyers have the 6th overall pick. The Flyers are going to get either Alexei Joseph or Jackson Jacobson. Think about that. Like, that's how crazy this is. That's how crazy this overall is right now. Now, I did not update our scouting board either, or, you know, and I don't really have the mind to trade anyone right now. I'm just going to kind of see how this offseason goes. So let's go on into this. I'll just sim through the pick. Can I just, like, no, I can't. Okay. So we'll sim the pick. It should be Landon Dupont. It is. He's only 74 overall, and he's a franchise player. Now, he was listed to have one more year. So Vaclav Kames, I feel like he should be ready to go right now. So he should be number 2. Yeah, so he's an 80. So these CHL guys coming up are obviously not going to be the best overall compared to a guy playing in Europe, you know, so... and Kames, yeah, they're both 18, but it's just the difference of, you know, just the growth level, right? So, so there goes him. Now, my interesting thing is, you know, are they going to take the other European players here? So let's see. So Moroza goes, yeah, so he's an 80 overall defenseman, so that's pretty good too. The Sens take Corazzini, but he was only 75, and Corazzini, I think, was also European as well, it seems. So Montreal, the 5th pick, has a couple of options here. They can go with Kalle Zetterberg, or they can also go with Alexei Joseph, who has X factors, or Jackson Jacobson, who has X factors. There are a couple good players, man. There are a couple good players around here. So let's see what Montreal takes. So they take Alexei Joseph. They go with the French guy. Of course they do. He's a 74 overall, but he's the exact same overall as Landon Dupont, just a different potential. So that's very interesting. But to have X factors, that's huge. The Flyers. If you take Zetterberg Flyers, you messed up, in my opinion. Let's see what they do. No, they go with Jacobson. So also 74. But X factor, right? Huge thing. The Jets go with Havlat. They don't even take Zetterberg. So Zetterberg's dropping. The Bruins have to take him. Yeah, there you go. So defenseman, I mean, also it could just be a team not looking for a defenseman too, right? But the defense, you know, 76 overall rated Zetterberg goes to the Bruins. Who's up next? The Blues take oh my god, he plays for the 67s. Eshikagun, or whatever his name is. He's only 63 though. If I see the Ducks take a defenseman and he's better than him, that's messed up by the Blues. So no, there's Anderson. Who's the next defenseman? Alsner. Yeah, I think we've reached the point here where it's, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, so there's your top 10. I think the Habs and the Flyers had knockout picks. You had to go with that. I kind of feel like, you know, the top 4 had to go the way they did. But the Habs going with Alexei Joseph, that's a good pick as well. But Zetterberg dropping even past the Jets is very surprising to me. Anyway, so we don't have a first overall pick. I don't even know where our pick would have gone. I guess Seattle. I think it went to Seattle because of... I'm judging it's Seattle because I think that's what went with Vince Dunn, right? So let's just sim to that pick and see what happens. I wish there was just like a quick sim to this pick. Like, come on, man. Like, I wish there was something like that, but we'll just do this. And then we'll just get to our picks because I think there's, you know, there's no reason to linger around here. But, I mean, the players are just, these players are not good. Like 70, 60. So, yeah, so let's see who the Kraken pick. Because obviously, a low elite defenseman. Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, who cares? We got Vince Dunn out of it. So with that, we saw who our trade partners made. We saw who the Kraken picked because of that trade with Vince Dunn. But let's now move on to ours with pick number 85. Oh yeah. So Sostrom got picked. That Vikling guy. I was hoping that this Vikling guy hung around, but I don't. Man. So Soderstrom got picked. So let's see who we have available for us. So obviously we're not picking Hanula. We are not picking Hanula. Sundstrom is available. He's a low bottom 6. His stats are not bad. He's actually only a 3-year, but he low bottom 6 though. I don't really like that. Obviously we're not taking Niskala as a bust, and I do not really like who's around here. Like Talpolis, I feel like is just a good pick. He's 3 years. He's a fringe starter. He might be a fringe starter because we know what his potential is, but he's a low fringe starter, so he could also definitely change. I wouldn't mind taking a guy like Sundstrom as well. Oh my god, but our scouts, yeah, we didn't fully scout him. I'm going to take Talpolis. We need kind of a goalie, and this guy has good stats, so let's take him. He's a low fringe starter. We knew that was going to happen, but I think we picked a good guy. Now, he's not played a game at all either, so that's a big issue too. But we will take him as well. So there we go. There's our 3rd round pick. It's a goalie. Our first pick in the draft is a goalie, but we do kind of need better goalie prospects than what we have now. So I don't mind taking that pick. Our next pick 117. Let's just move on to there because there's nothing really that we could talk about here. Who is around this pick? Okay, Pavel Gonchar. I spoke to him for just a moment, and he's a 5-year pro. He's a 5-year thing, and a lot of these players are now that are around this area. But we have this guy, Cole Keeping. We also have Deverick Lemaire was interesting because I saw his skills, and I was like, those aren't bad. And then he's a 3-year estimated, and I was like, that's not bad. But then I looked at his potential. He's AHL top 6. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening. This Hordichuk guy I didn't really look at, but I don't want a goalie. I picked our goalie. I'm kind of happy with what we got. But we got Cole Keeping, who's a low top 4. We also have Lazarev. Oh, okay. He's got a lot of B minuses. He's a lot better than Cole Keeping. Okay. Yeah, I think unless Gentle here. Yeah, no. Okay. I think I know where we're going here. Sergei Lazarev. He's a defenseman. He has no weaknesses. He's 3 years. And he's got good skills. And I don't mind that. He's an offensive guy, right? He's got to be, surely. Although, wait, hold on. He's a defensive defenseman, but no, his skating's just bad. Well, we could work on that. We could work on that. I think this guy's the guy. I think we got to take this guy. Let's see. 65 overall, low top 4. Like, where's the next nearest defenseman? Or someone's going to pick a defenseman here. Let's just see. Like, that Gonchar guy is 8 overalls below, and he's a 7th. Like, we picked a good player there. I think we did. I hope we did. So I don't mind that whatsoever. Now we just kind of move on to round number 5, since again we don't have anything going on. And as you can see, no Booze. I low-key wanted to take Blake Booze because I liked his name. Dang it! I actually forgot that he was around. I just saw him in the scouting. But as you can see, yeah, we've reached. Okay. This Vapanik guy is not that bad. Okay. Although he's an HL top 2. See what I mean? Who? Bang. What's this guy? Nicholas Bang. Okay. Yeah, he's not a... No. We're not taking him. Is there anyone... Oh, this Jeremy Martin kid. He's a top 6. Schlemko, who we haven't really looked at. No. Is there anyone that, like, stands out here? Who was that? This guy. Blake. Nah. Eminstone, does he have good stats? No, not really. Man, oh my god, this draft. Is there anyone like with good potential, like at all? Like this guy might, but that's Dallas Wellwood, low top 6. We have a low top 9. Oh my god. Like these guys actually suck. Like, I can't even, like, put into words how bad this looks. So, but this Evanstone guy is, like, they're... I don't know. Like, I think we just kind of have to go with Vapanik because I don't mind his stats. And his potential could change, but, like... Yeah, oh, my God. See what I mean by this draft class sucks? It truly does. But that's our last pick until round number 7. So, we're just going to just go all the way. Again, this draft has just been awful. The players are not good. And I don't have many words for this draft except bad. I think at this rate we just gotta take who's the best potential. I don't want to take this. Who the hell? Like, Like this, man, I don't even know. This draft is just awful. I can't even. Should we even go with one of these centermans? Why not? Let's just try it out. This guy seems like he's better. Just take him. What do we got? Low bottom 6. Okay. So that's our draft. Like, I don't like this draft just sucked. Our first 2 picks I don't mind. Vapanik, I don't think that's really it's not a superb pick, as we'll just sit to the end of the draft. That's it. But Typalus, I don't mind that pick. I think that's an okay pick. The Lazarus pick, I actually do like. Hopefully he can pan out. Vapanik as well. I mean, we just had to, but he was the best player available. And then Bobrovsky, I mean, wow. This draft class, the lower levels really were awful, but we'll just have to eat it, take it on the chin, and move on from this. Okay, so with the season ending, we also have to re-sign our coaches. Our AHL coaches have to be re-signed. Also, our NHL goalie coach has to be re-signed. Now, the thing about the NHL coach, right? Or the NHL goalie coach, this guy, Champion. I didn't mind him. He was an A teaching. But the problem is, I signed our guy from the AHL was actually better. So, I don't really want to do this. But can I change? I might fire Champion. Now, I know that sounds bad, but I'm going to fire Champion. Because I'm going to promote Agostino, because I think he's a better goalie coach, right? I think he's a better goalie coach, and I'm going to promote Agostino when I can. Why can't I do it for the coaches that are signed? Oh, no, I was able. Oh, my God, I'm an actual idiot. Maybe now I can because we lost our goalie coach. Okay, so I'm going to move up Agostino because his stats are just overall better, and his teaching is actually just overall better as well than it was for Champions. So Jalen Agostino is now our goalie coach. I don't mind that. Our AHL coach, I don't mind this Bruick guy to stay because he has a good penalty kill. We could, I guess, Sharp is also good. I guess we could keep him around. Is anyone like actually like a head coach, or are they like? Maybe we can get an actual, like, you know what? We'll do that. We'll get an AHL head coach, a proper AHL head coach. But I don't mind re-signing the associate coach if I can. Or is he an actual, like, head coach? Like, what is happening here? What's happening? Is he an AHL head coach or not? Like, I don't see. That's the problem. See, I'll sign him to a head coaching job. This Sharp guy, he's an assistant. I'll leave him on as an assistant. See, now, okay, now I wish not doing that, but whatever. Okay, well, we'll go from there. Scouts as well, we also have to re-sign. I don't mind re-signing all our... See, the only coach I have an issue with is the Russian coach. So I'll just re-sign them. And our pro scouts are fine too, so I don't mind that. They've done a good job as well, so... I have no problemo with them. But, yeah, it's just the one scout I have an issue with is our Russian scout. Because he has not been able to scout players well at all, throughout this previous year. So we'll keep it like that. So we'll go from there. We'll see what our coaches say. I don't know how that's going to work, but now we've entered the re-signing phase. Yes, we fired the head coach. We know. So these players that need to be re-signed. Let's go view the contracts. So obviously our main core going forward, we have to sign Rossi next year. Oh, man, how much money? We're not going to have a ton of money. We're going to be in trouble with Rossi because he's going to want something big, too. We might have to try and re-sign him at the start of the year so we can maintain him for sure. Oh, we don't even have, like, Drake Batherson. Oh, my God. Okay, so let's just quickly view over just the position. So at center, Rossi, Pedersen. Hedl doesn't want to come back. Hedl was great. I want to keep him. We still have Boone Jenner for a couple of years. But we also have Coots. So I don't see... I don't also mind getting rid of Hedl just because, and we also got to save money as well. Okay, so just looking at that, see, I don't mind. See, I don't want to get rid of Hedl, though, because he was actually very good for us down the stretch in the playoffs. So that's kind of upsetting there compared to, like, Liam Ogren, where, he was actually a pretty good fourth-line center, so I don't mind that. But I think if Coots is coming up, I think we kind of have to make that move. Looking at our left wingers, see Drew O'Connor can go because he had like a no move clause, and that was one of the worst I've ever seen. Foligno can go as well. Baines doesn't want to come back. That's fine. You were never playing a game for us anyway. So our left wingers are kind of once again open. On the right-handed side, I want to try and keep Drake Batherson as much as possible. Drake Batherson was great for us, so I'm going to try and keep Drake Batherson. Palmieri, I'll see what he kind of wants, but I kind of want to keep him on a low contract level. I don't want to go too crazy with Palmieri. Lekkerimäki, I want to keep as well, considering he has an X factor, right? So I want to keep him. And then those are just our bottom guys. Defensively, Tyler Myers can go. I'll try and keep Orlov, but Tyler Myers has to go. Just there's in no mind I don't think he should be on our team anymore. We could try and get maybe a defenseman upgrade there. Mahura can stay as a sixth or seventh defenseman. I thought he was pretty good as well. And then just looking at our other defensemen too, there's nothing that we really have to worry about overall. And then our goalies, I mean, I might Medvedev plays for us now, right? Because is he of age where he plays for us now? I think he is. But yeah, whatever. But anyways, Ty Young was brought in. I'm just trying to think here. I think yeah, I think we could bring in, I don't know. I think a lot of these goalies are just gonna like dip when they head out. Like Switzer will probably be able to go and whatnot, but we'll see. But what I'll do this year, boys and girls, is I'll try and sign them, and I'll come back and I'll see how it all goes, and we'll figure this all out together when I have this all figured out. So just give me a few minutes here, and we'll figure out if we're doing you know what we're gonna do with our future here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Just after a couple of days where I spent talking to the players. And we got it pretty good, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. We spoke to Dmitry Orlov. Now, I actually did their negotiation, and I didn't really negotiate anything with him. I just spoke to him about being on this team and how we're hopeful of going far into the future. And he did accept to a 2-year, $7.1 million deal. It will take him to when he's 37, so I probably won't sign him then, and he'll probably be a low overall by then. But just having him being the X factor 2 on the ice, I think that is great as well. We also had a good on the right winger side. Now, yes, Kyle Palmieri is still not signed, and I don't think we'll be able to sign him because of our cap space, but we were able to get Drake Batherson on a 4-year deal at $8.425 million. He has a no-move clause and a modified no-trade clause to only 4 teams, though. So there isn't much going on there. So there's still we can still move Drake back, or he has a no move clause, so we really cannot move Drake almost at all. But considering that he's 29, he should be a good player for us for that whole contract. Also, Philip Hedl signed a 6-year deal at $6.925. Some people will probably be mad at me for signing that. It might be a bit too much. But hey, look, he was solid for us in the playoffs. I will take that any day of the week. He was very solid for us also throughout the season. So I will take that, and especially with him being 27, I will take that. Yeah, but like I said, I don't think we'll be able to sign Kyle Palmieri, which is too bad. I think he was asking for like $6 million here. Yeah, so his asking price, as you can see, that's in the red there. $6 million for 1 year. We don't have that. We won't be able to cover that. So sadly, Mr. Kyle Palmieri, I'll have to release you. Leaving us with a pretty decent. I mean, we're gonna have to fill up a lot of AHL roles, which I will do probably in the next episode since we're almost out of time here. But we definitely have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have about 11 or so players here, so we could look for one forward. We could also maybe look at our lower levels to get a player here. Defensively as well, Mahura is good, but I also might want to look at defensemen. So there could be possibly like 2 cheap players that might have X factors. It might be tough to find, but we definitely have some big contracts on this team, which is probably going to hurt us heading into next year, especially if we want to sign Marco Rossi. So yeah. Anyways, that's that. But let's move on here to free. I think all our scouts also re-signed. I'll triple check that as well. But I think all the players that we have signed are signed, which is good. But quickly here, just looking at our coaches, I saw that the coaches re-signed, although they weren't really happy. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? But yeah, so we have all the scouts. So the scouts are all good, and then the coaches are good. So yeah, going into free agency, we're gonna have to look for an AHL head coach, and as well, whoa, everyone's upside down. That scared me. Jesus. We're gonna have to look for an AHL head coach and as well as an AHL goalie coach, but I don't mind that. So that's all we really have to look for. But yeah, that's basically it. We've looked at all the players we can. And all we can really do now is just sim to free agency, I believe, and go on from there. We'll see who we could get for our money. I won't be able to do free agency here because of just our time. We're out of it, but I'll sim to free agency here because I think we signed all the players, unless the game reminds me. No, we're pretty good. I'm not going to update your trade block for right now. I think we're good. So we have now made it to free agency. I'm not doing any free agency in this video, but let's just take a quick look at who is available. Obviously, we have no money. Quinn Hughes is actually available, which is incredible. Eklund, Marchenko, Drouin, Kopitar. Let's see who's affordable. Is there anyone affordable for us that might have Vladislav Mestikov? Oh, but he's all power play line, so he's no good at all. Van Riemsdyk, is there anyone? Andrew Kopp. Andrew Kopp, a second line guy. 82 though, I don't really like that. Brandon Gallagher. Okay. Let's just see if there's anyone as we go down the list. I think we've Rasmus this line at top 4 D pairing. That's not a bad. I mean, that would take up a lot of our money. So that is there anyone like far down this list that's like so cheap it's not even funny that we could really look at? If not, that's okay. I'm probably be looking at like 1.5 for each here. So let's just take a look. Nico Sturm. As we just go down here, is there anyone that's like below the radar that as an X factor? Jordan Martinook. That's not bad. What is he looking for? 1.3. That's not bad. Okay, so we'll just have to remind ourselves to maybe look at Jordan Martinook just a bit. And he also doesn't mind maybe being a part of our franchise. Garrett Hathaway as well would be a good option. Defensively, I don't think you're going to get much defenseman with X factors down below 1 million or even close to 1 million. So we might have to play like a 1. Yeah. So we'll see. But whatever. We got a whole bit of time here before we have to make our decision. But